Prime Minister of Antigua and Barbuda, Gaston Brown, has announced plans to liquidate the regional carrier Liat. Brown on Saturday also said a new entity will be formed and a meeting of all shareholders will be held shortly to discuss the matter. He was speaking on Point FM in Antigua.
And the fact that the planes have been grounded, they have to pay the lease payments, and they're not getting any revenue. Plus, there's some other fixed costs that they have to pay, even if they don't operate. They have to maintain staff as well, to maintain the planes and so on, and keep some level of administration going. The losses would have increased exponentially, which means that Liat, which was always in a very precarious position, is literally now inviable.
He added that the region cannot move forward without a form of connectivity and a new entity may have to be created.
Connectivity, we can't have an integration movement and we can't connect people. I mean, connecting people is critical to the integration movement. But this new entity will require full cooperation of all, full commitment. Clearly, we're going to have to put cash in. The governments will have to capitalize a new entity. They'll also have to get private sector participation so that we have a mixture of public and private capital, probably to have it operated by private entities. But again, what I'm hoping that we do not have going forward with a new entity is any squabble over the location of the headquarters.
According to the Prime Minister, Liat does not have sufficient assets to satisfy the requirements or claims of most of its creditors, including the airline's employees.
That there will have to be some level of cooperation to include possibly some haircuts on their liabilities in order to facilitate the creation of a new viable and sustainable entity. And let me make the point here too, that Liat does not have sufficient assets in which it could satisfy the requirements, or let's say the claims of most of its creditors, to include the staff at Liat. So Liat only owns 3 planes, and those 3 planes are charged to the Caribbean Development Bank. So clearly they have a superior claim, and after they would have covered their claim, there will be hardly any assets available to liquidate severance and other liabilities to staff and other creditors. So there has to be a negotiated position. I mean, the government's not going to be bandits and just walk away from the staff. There will have to be some form of compassionate payment to assist them.
Leeward Island Air Transport was established in 1956 in Montserrat. In 1971, Courtline Aviation of the UK acquired control and renamed the airline Liat, and in 1974, ownership of the airline was acquired by 11 Caribbean governments. It was renamed Liat 1974 Limited. Andre Huey, SKN Newsline.